in the group stage, so this is going to be a tall order, that's for sure. But now moving into our first map of the series, our first semi-final of the day. Bad News Eagles, of course, this not being their map pick, can't start CT, with Center having the kit and the smoke. Certainly setting up in a position where, should that bomb go down, they can at least contest. Sinners are just setting up, looking to see if there's any aggression to be found.
Look, we saw the Bad News Eagles on Inferno earlier as well. It was against Skate, it was a single overtime, and they were bested at the end of it all. The back and forth game with a lot of BNE's play just being figured out at one point or the other by Skate. A lot of the reason why they were even able to make that comeback. So the question is, will Sinners even get to that point? Can BNE play that game against them at all? You can already see the differences in how they're setting up super defensively on that B bomb side, A side as well. No one really spreading out for information. If this becomes a trend, it could be problematic.
I feel like at some point BNE are going to want to look for that information, but Sinners are seriously just chewing off so much time on this clock. That's their method to punish. One player's low on this A bomb site, so they're targeting it.
One flasher is the main man over here. They don't have too many flashes either. The first one will catch onto the line. GXX waiting to peek out. One comes in with the first. Regon's also there, preventing the crossover, and already it's mincemeat, and they're eating it right up. A couple of missed shots gives Neofrag a chance to recover, though. Back to a 3-on-3, and B-Stick to quickly make the scores a little bit more lopsided. And with 15 seconds left, they'll get the bomb down. Scenari does have a kit, but between him and Synopsy, there are no pieces of utility, so this has to be dry peaks.
Immediately dealt with. Forzy just having that glance. Kit retrieved here for Synopsy. Does have the armor to back it up, but Forzy's just clean with it. Those double entries from Neofrag make all of the difference. It didn't look like they were going to find anything from it. The fact that they still held on to Pit on the Bad News Eagles side, the jumping out of the apartments, and they lose these first two players, Neofrag really has to bail them out. And you see how he prioritizes. He just jumps into the bomb site, trying to bypass that Pit player, and then when it's just him, B-Stick does the rest.
And look, a lot of that has to be put on GXX's shoulders. It looked like he should have been able to find Neofrag still any day of the week. And if he keeps one Flatcher alive, B-Stick doesn't have that single isolated duel forward either. Of course, all hindsight, and you have to think about it. But remember, GXX is a big player for BNE to have him activated.
Yeah, big win. He's got himself an AWP at the very least. It'll be a little while until we see that. A force buy here from BNE. 4 players are already situated over on this A bomb side, and that's where Sinners are grouped up. They're setting up for flashes out of the apartments.
Yeah, exactly. Good for the one coming in behind, but Scenari's the one doing real damage with the 5-7. Comes up and finds a third as well. Suddenly, they've just been overwhelmed. Sinners trying to speed things up, going out through the apartments, always dangerous, but when you're going up against a 5-7 that you can't just instantly shoot down, yeah. BNE just turned that one around. That's going to be a big round to seal away. 2 acres as well taken forward.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be disappointing as well. They wanted to go for a faster call, hoping that they maybe even bypass a stack over on the B side of things, but BNE some great positions to sort of bounce off each other as soon as they start to feel that pressure mounting. Recovering rifles as well, that's extra cash they don't have to invest. Sinners will look to have to force buy right back. Deegs out for them. No long-range fights, no rifles, nothing that can really punish a distance in much the same way. Yeah, Swift Eagle headshot, gotta be crisp with it. Needed a way to re-smoke top banana here from BNE, but just showing a bit of fake presence, not actually peeking behind it.
Look, BNE, these passive angles will make it all the more difficult for the Eagles to actually find anything over here. They've got a single flashbang to try and pop into the B bomb side. And Forzy's been sent on an exploration mission. This is a big kill to try and find. One Flatcho on the other side does know where Forzy is. A re-smoke means they don't want to contest, and I don't blame them for it.
Trying to contact into me with this Deeg. I mean, good utility. They're just forcing them back. Sinners, they don't want to sit in a Molotov. They don't want to tank a nade.
Yeah. They've given up top banana. They don't have anything in brackets. They don't have anyone lurking in apartments. They have no information to work off of. This has to be pure raw aim if they want a chance to get into this bomb site, or even a chance hell to get some damage in at the rate that they're going, because there's 30 seconds left. But this might be the call that ends up causing the Eagles to fall. GXX playing further back. Watching for the Archer's push. A double peek into him. Good damage, but it's not enough. One flat through in the meanwhile. Now, quick shot to Neofrag's head. Doesn't really have to focus on the players coming in from Archers yet, but he does so anyway. Beautifully held. As he just turns the AK on and all his problems are gone.
Yeah, incredibly well managed. Just taking that first face onto short, but then still picking up long as well, in spite of the fact that he has a teammate inside of the site that's supposed to be watching this for him. As soon as it's communicated that he's fully flashed up, it immediately swings. Catches them slipping. They're not expecting that guy to take that duel so haphazardly. I mean, just a great showing. Nice and clean. Sinner's back onto just these pistols. Won't invest anything alongside it. Didn't get anything really accomplished with the investment last round. And very aggressive, considering it's just against pistols. But I think it's important as well to note that the way that Sinners are playing, the way in which they're sort of holding defensively so often on this T side so far, you know, sometimes we look at games in sort of isolation, and we like to say they create a precedent. You know, they've conditioned their opponent. But Sinners understand what the game plan is here for Bad News Eagles. The fact that they love looking for pushes. So they tried to punish an earlier round, but now they don't have the equipment to really deal with it anyway.
Not a single gun lost so far. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
And as soon as
even so, that's an off that can be picked up with GXX, you know?
Yep. Pop that rifle into Scenario's hands and buy an up himself. Exactly what he'll do.
So much money built up for BNE as well.
Back-to-back clean rounds. Minus the one death last round, sure, whatever.
Acceptably grubby.
Yeah. The problem for Sinners will now be that on this investment, they've only got one Molotov. And you think about how critical that is to taking areas of control, whether it's moving to the A bomb site or just showing some presence over towards the bottom banana. They just can't contest early on, and so they're going to have to play around these smokes and wait for the law of that utility to fade. GXX looked for a peek down mid, but found nothing. It's a boost up in banana that's instead found B-stick. He tried to hold on to something over a banana, but the rest of the team were nowhere near.
And Sinners just aren't ready for this change of pace from BNE to go aggressive this early on top banana. BNE have consistently been playing from inside the site. Sinners, without the Molotov, like you said, it would have always been difficult. But then, just a quick peek, pop up, popped out.
And back to playing defensive.
And look, Michael, you talked about the possibility of a 2-0 for BNE. Let's not forget, there is a significant possibility of it going the other way as well if Inferno does end up being upset. Ancient is not up for grabs by any stretch of the imagination for Sinners. They've had their own weaknesses on it.
Yep.
And sure, they can close out, but are they likely to?
I think a lot of it is just determined about how well this map plays out for either team. If either of them has these sort of mental rounds where you're having to really think about how you let one slip or how you bounce back, have to make ridiculous runs right back. You could very well see 2-0s for either team. There's like a lot hinges on a map that's been a staple in the map pool for far too long.
Oh, the smoke goes out at 27. That's not going to be going by until 10 seconds are left. You have to just rely on flashing through it at this point. And Scenario could just destroy them anyway, trying to spam through the smoke. One flash through yet to be detected. Flashbang catches him out, and a single point of damage is going to end up revealing him, but they haven't realized it. One flash shoot just gets 2 for free. In the chaos of the calls, they don't understand that Juan is around.
I can't believe he's gotten away with that. They're clearing the bomb site. They've thrown the coffin smoke. They've thrown CT. That team flash there almost screws with Juan Flatro completely. But he never shot. He never panicked in that situation. Just hoped that they wouldn't check him, and they didn't. They're clearing the back of the bomb site. He's still second oranges. Well, a couple of these, I think, lackluster clears here from Sinners could be something that proves detrimental. Finally, GXX finding a bit of impact on that AWP. The round in which Sinners haven't fully invested, of course. They just love to fight when they're on these pistols. They know it's unfair.
Oh, quick trades, but it doesn't matter. Scenario is there to even, or rather, tip the scales in their favor. But a knife out, one that is punished. Just a reminder. Nothing really lost off of it. Bad News Eagles still keep 3 players alive, 5-1. But gotta be careful.
Yeah, clear your corners, bud. Yeah, as soon as it seems like they just have a really good read on what the economy is looking like here for Sinners. It's not exactly an unusual buying pattern for this T side, especially after losing that second round. You know, Sinners won the pistol and then were massively disrupted. So B&E have been exploiting the fact that they've been on these pistols a couple of times over. That's when they've been the most aggressive. Now that Sinners are back on rifles and they have this AWP out on Forzy as well, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing them play more contained in the bomb sites again. Using a lot of util banana before making any judgment calls here for B&E. Sinners are finding some success though. Kill onto Scenario, but the nades finish off the job and find a kill right back. Forzy picking into Boiler with an AWP isn't exactly conventional. If anyone was there, they would have been barrel stuffed.
Utility is a little bit lower on the CT side this time around, so this rotation from Synopsy is going to be even more necessary. He's just keeping an eye out for any Archer's contention that might end up coming in, but remember the bomb's all the way back in T-spawn. They really need to make up their minds soon on Cinna, because you've only got enough utility for one hit wherever you're going. And
they've got to go the long way around because of the deep utility thrown by GXX. Going on that angle with the AWP. Great pick for Zedko to find, though.
And GXX is actually starting to push through a little bit of flashbang to push him right back and make sure that they're double thinking about where this could be a hit onto. But that smoke is just going to end up causing Synopsy to hard commit. He's got a flashbang, but now he's been revealed. A flash pop over, and this is where the hit comes in. But Synopsy peek out from himself, and Zedko is gone. Synopsy now just needs to hold on for dear life, but dear life has left him. Regon now trying to keep a control over the site. That control is lost as well. Now GXX, the one onto the clutch that we talked about. Potential definitely there, but a lot harder when the bomb's not yours and you're is looking at the fuse. First shot missed. Forzy keeps his eye trained and his aim will not depart yet.
Man, that's so close as well. GXX, you can't imagine winning a clutch like that from the apartments is all too easy, but he had an opportunity there. Forzy, I think, was looking at short because his teammate was holding long for him instead. Great job to stopping and freezing as well there from Sinners to pick apart the defenses here of Bad News Eagles. If Zedko doesn't get that kill, this A-bomb side is looking far more reinforced. You don't see those nervous deployments of utility, the jump spotting that GXX is doing. He's still uncertain about whether they could run back B. Sinners break it down, but they had to really grind out the round timer as a result of that. GXX looking to get aggressive into the balcony, and someone's jumping up. Forzy once again gonna hit the deck. So going into Boiler like this with that AWP is something that hasn't seen. I won't say it's a very traditional spot to be picking in with. The fact that he was there the round prior, don't imagine that was heavy info. Just a good read from GXX to kick it off.
Oh, good shot timing as well. Just works out for him. So Sinners, despite finding one window to peer through, Michael, the window shuts itself on their fingertips. Very painful.
Out of my house.
Two players nestled into new box. This is going to be a position where that smoke is almost definitely going to be used to extinguish the Molotov. I only have... well, no, not anymore. So they do reposition as well. Opposite, but the Molotov not coming their way at all. So Numsy, he's just delivering them a meal, and he's the one being eaten right up. Scenario trying to re-navigate out, and a flashbang's going to give him some support from a teammate. It's not enough, though. Beastie can solo handle both players coming his way, get the bomb down, and now deal with the push from Banana. He's not ready for it, though, and Regon finishes him off, brings the round back in their favor.
Very quick flank there from Regon to come into this retake, but you can see just a bit of panicked, I think it's fair to say, from Bad News Eagles, wanting to play, wanting to spawn perhaps, not anticipating that this flash was going to just completely full blind that first player facing into B. Actually kind of sold the idea that they wouldn't be boosted up, weirdly enough, I think. He's so panicked. Why on earth is he panicking? As a teammate in the bomb site could have just sat first oranges, but he didn't want to get overwhelmed. Little Sinners, in spite of the fact that Beastic brought things closer, unable to get too much going from it. They did get the extra money from that bomb plant, which is always nice.
Ooh. Side opportunity miss, but not a big deal. Now remember,
at some point or another, if he keeps firing off those shots and taking this deep peek mid, I'd always anticipate that Forzy, he's wanted to go for this boiler pick a couple of times, but he might just end up holding it.
much faster up the arches this time. They're just trying to pop into it. And with Synopsy pushing through, Forzy was fully prepared for it. Recon in the meanwhile can punish one peek out, but flashes are inevitable. They've got so much control and they've moved everyone away from the B bomb site. Forzy can now turn around, look to run straight to B, and only Scenario is going to be present, and he has no utility.
I was wondering whether there might be some of it dropped somewhere, but it doesn't recover anything, so has to try and keep a handle on if things dry. These smokes gonna obscure his vision. The spam not lined up from Scenario. In fact, there's a flash from his teammate, but he gets nothing for his troubles.
One flat true boosted up, good damage, but he can't decide between opponents. Neofrag's been given the space to come in and take him down. One only good for the first, and Regon's gonna have to be the one to go for first contact. GXX not an easy position to play from when everyone's already nestled into the back of the bomb site. Neofrag gets one for free in the meanwhile, but GXX gets the same. Problem is, these two players, they're not going to be showing themselves anytime soon, and one's coming from the back. It's Beestick to seal the round out.
Another big double there from Beestick, but man, these entries just came in so quick. The fact that they're able to punish as well, these fast rotates that B&E have been going for, whether they've been running through middle to go for a quick flank banana, or once they receive pressure into brackets, Synopsy running through smoke. It's a good read. Another one where they slow things down after the initial play pans out. Understanding what the rotates are looking like from the Kosovians. Next answer back. I'm putting this one right in the bank. Money's run very thin here for Bad News Eagles, so crucial that they win this round. Sinner's the same deal, but they have loss bonus. 1-for-1 exchange over towards Banana. I thought Neofrag was going to be able to get out of there with his life, rather. Bam, followed him. They're fully leaving B.
Hey, it was either that or Synopsis tries to push through the smoke and dies, you know?
The problem that they have is that they're low util, and they know that they're kind of on a struggle buy, so they just want numbers.
I mean, you don't have an option to try and defend B right now. You do just try and gamble. If you save in the next round, it's not the biggest of deals. Money's low anyway. But with Synopsy going down, do they realize he's the B-sided player as well as Scenario? Well, one Flatru's also gone by the wayside. So at this point, you might as well just be better off trying to commit, although that commitment might be thwarted. Regon looking to get aggressive into the smoke. He's shown a tendency to push through these before as well, and he's fully cleared it out. Can he get a backstab? Yes, he can. Brings it back to a 2-on-2, and rotation timings are going to be good, but are they going to be accurate?
Yeah, the fact that they saw them walking back towards B, they are leaning heavy. Both players on B and E making their way over. A flash is thrown. Don't know if that indicates to Sinners whether it's both or not.
They've got the smokes necessary to go for this hit easily as well. Now, Regon's got a smoke of his own, but there's no Molotovs, there's no grenades, there's no flashes to pop through it, so they're going to be relying on Ye Old Faithful. It's the boost to come over. Forzy's got the first, but Regon's got two. What a spray down!
Oh, man. And to think Forzy kills the boosty just as soon as Regon leaves his head. Fires off that shot through the smoke, and you're thinking Forzy might be able to pull off something great, but spray transfer is fantastic there from Regon. And hell, Sinners had some really good timings, but how do you anticipate the moves that Regon is pulling off? Moving through smoke like that? They're in this 2-on-3, and he knows that they're sort of lacking information. They took a gamble moving to A in the first place. Didn't want Sinners to escape. Big round. Sinners looking to change the pace now with these pistols.
Oh, GXX misses his first shot. One Flatru being set up for a big bait. GXX even one on the fadeaway, but Neofrag quick to trade, and GXX will fall as well. This round is not without cost, but it's a cost they're willing to bear.
It'll be sad that Center can't pick up one of those rifles at the very least. Still stuck on the FAMAS, but yeah, the bait and switch seemed like it could have been so much better than it ended up panning out. AWP drew all that attention, but quick flicks from Sinners, quick 180s to fully clear out the cubby. Bad News Eagles is a solid CT side so far. They've been able to contain Sinners in spite of the fact that they've been holding, playing a lot of these defaults, actually having some good sort of mid-round reads on the setups of this Kosovian squad.
Beestick peeks out. Gets aggressive way earlier than the CTs were ready for, and GXX is about to get a chance that he doesn't make use of, though. Meanwhile, GXX is being spammed down, but Raygon's here as Mr. Bodyguard. Shock. You ain't taking out my AWP, but that's an expensive weapon. Unfortunately for BNE, it's been an expensive round so far. One whose bill they're not looking to pay.
Yeah, while there's all this chaos happening over at A, Beastic has been destroying them on this B-bomb site. Got all the 3 kills that he needed to crack in, get that bomb planted. Toy as you might in the apartment, it's not going to really matter. Rigon will get a kill on the hunt, but it's not going to be a round that they contest. Again, that money is not in a great spot here for B&E. Very crucial to keep these rifles in tow.
Yeah.
Yeah, great moves there from Beastic. Playing between the Molotovs as well. The one that lands shallow around the half wall. He's just playing a little bit past it. The other one top barrels as well. Didn't really hit him. That one little blind spot. Bad News Eagles thought they were safe.
I think he might have thrown the barrels more himself.
You know, they bounce deeper than I think it usually is meant to. You know, it sometimes hits that half wall, sort of spreads in front so that AWPers can't peek that front side on the CTs.
Yeah.
Be a little cheeky move, a little set piece strat.
Look, we've seen plenty of rounds that start off one-sided and end up on an 8-7 in this tournament so far. Sinners, that's sort of what they're hoping for right now as well. You take out Bad News Eagles over here, 6 is basically guaranteed, but this is where you have to stop the Eagles. Similar Molotov is what we saw before. Nades, mollies, all flying through. Scenari's gone. B6 the one who delivers death unto him.
So much utility used to clear out Scenari. So much util, but it comes in big. You know, it pays forward. Man advantage. Sinners can slow things down once again. Bad News Eagles love to look for information, especially when they're at a deficit like this.
Regon's generally the guy to go for it, and he's certainly in position to as well.
GXX instead.
Oh, beautiful.
So quick. Of course he was holding for that as well, but loved his lines.
Now they're split 2 and 2 on the Bad News Eagles, and they'll have to make up their mind very soon. A good Molotov timing. We'll be able to share off some of the time with the smoke, but the big one is the smoke down on the stairs that they're trying to play around. Use it as a bit of a one-way as well as he gets up on top of the fountains. One Flatru, wait for them to push in. GXX good for the first. One Flatru realizes there's a player nearby. Neofrag's going to be sent back home, but not by one. It's GXX who continues to be the one to perform and the one to deliver. B6 all alone. He can get one more casualty for his troubles, but at the end of it all, BNE have walked into an excellent position where now Sinners are the ones whose economy is stressed out.
Yeah, fantastic work there from GXX, diverting all that attention. His teammates playing on top of the fountain, and there are so many flashes being bombarded there from Sinners. I think they realized as well that someone was likely sort of construction side, moving past these smokes in CT. If not for the efforts of GXX, none of this is possible. They would have very likely been traded on that bomb site. Rifler can only do so much. GXX took all the attention, and yeah, Sinners are in a bit of a pickle here. And that was with them finding the opening advantage. You know, they were 5-on-4, they were setting up for this B play. They had them split 2 into a bomb site, so it wasn't as though BNE had support coming. One of the issues that you can sometimes have hitting in that B bomb site is that flashes will just barrel in from spawn and they can peek you just as you're coming out top B. But the timings for the utility for BNE has pretty much been on point. Every time that they're looking to go for an execute on Sinners, they're having to run through a smoke. There's a Molotov blooming right in their face just as they're about to actually pace into the site. Really disrupts the flow of things. We were hyping up Forzy. He's been a good performer for them this tournament so far, but hasn't found that same impact on the AWP, less the rifles as well.
And like you saw that in particular in the previous round, as we'll have Raygon just going for cleanup crew over here. You saw that when GXX gets the kill. And that's what starts everything up. Sinners. You also have to remember, Forzy, we you know, all the praise we put on him. GXX has been pretty insane as well. So when you put him against the Opera, who I would argue is probably the best Opera he's faced all tournament long, it is going to make a difference.
Last round of this half, Sinners would like that extra wiggle room. The fact that B&E already up to 10, that's job well done. I think it's fair to say for them. I mean, this is the Sinners pick. You would have anticipated to start T-side, and still things have not gone great. This little one-way is so cheeky here from Juan, and he's not quite finished with it. Oh, timing is fantastic.
Spots out Zedko, and they're not going to know that he's already moved in here. The amount of damage he can get done. The smoke is gone. He's got the crossfire, but there's 3 players in second mid right now. Not a single one of them will be spotted out. Regon is playing defensive this time over. They don't want to overcommit to the offense, but what they're doing is they're rotating GXX back to the A-bomb site. Re-smoke will make this a bit more of a difficult time for one, but that smoke will dissipate as well. So Nopsy will be able to assist in that crossfire.
We'll take brackets, but how are they going to get the bomb towards the bomb site? One just decapitates, making their way out brackets. That's one already dealt with, and now the jig is up. The setup here for the B&E side is read into. But what does it matter that you're able to read into their setup when things are as dire as this? 3-on-5 to try and find a 5th round.
Quick nice shot from Forzy over there. Another one of these that we were talking about earlier. Not quite the same performance as what we have been used to or what we've been hoping for, but still some hope for Sinners. There is only one player on this B-bomb set, and he's one without utility. A flashbang might not be enough. If they can take down Scenario without too many casualties, they've definitely got a chance over here, especially with the smokes already down. So Nopsy goes and takes down the bomb immediately, and he's buying so much space. There's 5 seconds left, and the flashbang should be enough to get the kill on Shock as well. He's won the round all on his own, and Forzy, that kill is consolation, and it's not very good consolation at that.
Man, what a mix-up there from Bad News Eagles. I mean, Juan getting into that position, you're expecting maybe to get more than 1 kill in that spot, especially if they're going for any sort of this late B-side control or anything of the sort. But it's just so uncomfortable there for Sinners. Tell they're not used to a circumstance quite like it, especially in the last round. It's a full gun round, you know, you see that kind of a play in sometimes pistol rounds, anti-ecos. Trying to get into your face. Juan making sure to line that one up nice and careful. Great job from Synopsy. As soon as he dropped that bomb down on the ground, just knew to prioritize his life. Stellar half. Bad News Eagles 11-4 in the lead. Sinners really need this bounce back, and the pistol will be a good place to start.
Well, it started off, Zedko's down. And unfortunately for Sinners, it's not started off in their favor. BNE are going to continue on towards this A-bomb side, and with the smoke down, Beastrix the only one who can really prevent them from crossing in from arches, and Beastrix overrun as well, a 1-for-1. But are they ready for Neofrag? Yes, they are. Somehow Rigon can just get every single entry wherever he goes. And Michael, this was always going to be the problem when BNE get up to 11, which is that with the explosive power that these players have, honestly, you can trip over and find 4 rounds.
Yeah, it's kind of like, especially in the mid-round moments where players are making these initiative plays, you don't imagine that's nobody's micromanaging that. That's just something that they want to do almost on this BNE side. Information's so key, but you know, you see some of these pushes and a lot of them are prompted off of reads that they may or may not have. Rigon just got the reload off in time, yeah. Well, Neofrag was destined for 2. They lined up for that CZ. Certainly had the fire rate.
Destiny, unfortunately, has evaded Sinner so far, and it will continue to be something they just cannot touch.
Forzy has been getting bodied.
And look, we're talking a lot about him, but let's not make any mistake about it. The only person performing on Sinners right now seems to be Beastic. Shock good for 1 right now, but he's also been a surprisingly quiet player so far. Even when Neofrag's been quiet, Shock has been delivering, and Neofrag, it's time for him to maybe put up a show.
Yeah, for those that missed the group stage, Shock was the hero so many times over for Sinners. Really got them off the ground in some of those early games where it didn't feel like the plan was really working out. They need him now more than ever, that is for sure. Still, 3-on-4, given that this is the force buy, this is still dangerous.
spray into the smoke. B-Stick, though, he's been gently brushed by bullets. Not very gently.
It's like a quick stroke.
Oh, Sari, run boost forward through the smoke, and he's gonna over it. Now he knows where B-Stick is. There still is that second player on the bomb site who hasn't revealed himself. B-Stick's got 2 in the meanwhile. GXX is all alone suddenly. These Deagles might have gone and given them exactly what was necessary to try and bring a comeback into this game. Let's not forget, this is how BNE started off as well. GXX thrown off very quickly.
Yeah, a little bit of the taste of their own medicine there, losing the pistol, but still being able to answer back in that second round. What a great crossfire as well being held by those Sinners players. Understanding that as well, 30 seconds around that time, moving into that bomb site, they needed to clear out everything before they could secure that plant. Even with the smokes down, they have to be super nervous about someone barreling through with just a pistol. But never over-facing, just swinging simultaneously to take those kills away, and it's just all about who BNE actually decide to target. Each and every time they were looking the wrong direction as to who was actually shooting them in the side. A path to recovery laid out now here for Sinners. If they lost that follow-up round, you know, you might just consider BNE to be a little too far away. Too far to touch. We'd likely have seen them sat on 14 instead. Sinners only a 7-round discrepancy that they can certainly make up.
Not to underestimate the difficulty of that. Scenari walking in, getting the Deeg shot to B-Stick's head is not the start you thought you'd have to this round.
If I considered it for a moment. Like, do I fight them? I could. Probably for the best, he backs off. He is left in charge of this B-bomb site without a smoke or a Molotov to help delay. These pistols, man. These damn pistols. Oh. Alarms blaring just a second there. 4-on-4. They are grouped up for this A play, and they just want to jump out of the apartment. Sinner's not in a great spot on the site to deal with it, but having Zedco inside of the pit is at least enough. Forzi as well has been able to find one moving themselves through the brackets, and they're just low here on the side of Bad News Eagles. They don't have a lot of space either. The bomb dropped rig on all that's left. A good opener. A good way to start out the round there for Bad News Eagles, that's certainly sure. But couldn't make use of that rifle, couldn't converge on a bomb site.
Rigo needs to die, though.
Might be able to recover that Galil. I think that's at the end of the apartments.
Yeah, but still seems like one of those things which isn't entirely worth it. Let's not forget, one of the big follies of BNE was weird economy management. And, like, this is right up that alley. That's one lane you don't want to buy property in, guys. Only way to a beachfront house and vents.
Yeah, only way to sort of redeem his money would be get a bomb plant down. Maybe Rigon gets a couple of kills with the Deagle. Might have them get enough money by the time they get the buy around, but some of his teammates as well, sort of buying down past that 2K marker. That they got full reset effectively after losing the secondary round. Neofrag challenging over towards top B. It's an easy kill to find. No armor on any of these guys.
Except for Rigon. And he gets one kill at the very least, you know. But another grenade, and Rigon is down as well. Forzi, the one to start picking up some frags. And in the meanwhile, B-Stick jumping back. He's had no issues keeping up with the game. And honestly, you're in a terrible position if you're BNE. You might just want to half buy. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going for.
Yeah, Rigon might be a little too split in half. He wants the extra armor. His teammates are all buying armor and some utility. You can only really afford up a Deeg or maybe a P250, a couple flashes. Love this sort of double take there from Beastic. He's just jumping around, and then all of a sudden there's someone running at him with a pea shooter.
Double nades go out. Could be some decent damage, but they don't go deep enough. They're trying to clear out sandbags instead and rush towards the B bomb side. B-Stick keeps them blind as can be, and with a Molotov on the ground, Synopsy still manages to get his work out of it. Quick kill found, but Shock returns it with 2. Neofrag makes it 3, and this bomb isn't going down.
Rigon falling as well. He actually did buy full head armor, so buying further than anyone would have thought.
Man.
1 on 4, and Juan's at least eliminated it down to 3.
Look, I knew that Rigon was half Swiss and half Kosovan, but I didn't know he was also half French. From 2014.
Yeah, put him in a time machine. Well, BNE will certainly be able to afford up a buy on the majority of their players. Rigon, I'm sure, is just going to go AK full head armor, leaving his teammates to do all the dirty work. And I think that's all well and good. You know, he's been hitting some nice headshots. He's been making some good plays as well in some of these mid-round moments. It's another time as well where last time we saw BNE on Inferno, they did have this tendency to sort of just run through that CT smoke as soon as they got an opening pick, and that seemed to be the case again. It was part of the reason why Sinners were able to get so many kills right back. Spammed him as soon as he started to escape. Before he uncontested at distance, Rigon went for a Galil and some utility. Keeping tabs on him because we know we've seen a couple of weird buying.
Yeah, he's been baking humble pie, but just refused to eat it. Not true.
One's down, so that area took a lot of damage, so not looking too healthy here for Bad News Eagles. Synopsy's half HP as well. Should know where both players are on the bomb site. Only makes things more difficult, doesn't it?
Just a tad bit. Smoke doesn't help with Shox's position too much, and with a quick nade into pit is going to end up revealing the player there. Still, Sinners yet to cheat too many players over, and Rigon's going to be the first one to contest. Neofrag not wanting to hold on to this for too long, and meanwhile Zedco just spamming inside the smoke, but it's Shock and Beastic were coming alive. And BNE who are, well, going dead. And obviously still yet to find anything.
Got access to the bomb site, and so we can get this bomb planted. Zedco just staying alive in pit is such a nuisance.
They cannot retreat into appropriate post-plant position. That grenade is not going to do too much damage, but Synopsy finally able to get one. And with the smoke down, the CTs aren't really ready to push in just quite yet with GXX covering. If that nade had taken him down, yeah, that round would have been gone, but he's able to avoid most of the damage by moving behind the pillar. Now the rotation into short, and time is ticking low, so Synopsy, if he gets his first kill, that'd be huge. GXX, though, makes this a perfect crossfire, and you can no longer get in through short. The second Neofrag goes down, and Synopsy is still alive. That round becomes nearly impossible.
Yeah, I was looking at that 4 on 5 and thinking, you know, there's a couple players half HP. There's surely no way here for Bad News Eagles. It's so awkward for them to take these fights. But as soon as Synopsy's able to make this play, get the kill out from the pit player, it changed the round entirely. Sinners had no other access point into the bomb site, only long and short. And as soon as Synopsy got into the pit, super difficult to crack into the bomb site. What a play from BNE in a 2 on 4 to close things out.
Deep Molotov, but Forrest is still getting aggressive behind it, loses most of his HP off the back of that, but turns out Juan Flachu is the one losing HP. A lot of it. All of it.
Yeah, looking worse for wear as he watches from the sidelines.
And remember how I was talking about, hey, BNE can trip over and get a couple of these rounds, Michael? They've been surprisingly sure-footed.
I don't know, they've had a couple of trips, but still not found too many rounds, so. Just to amend, I think the last round was a 2 on 5, but that 2 on 4 in the post plant is really where the highlight was. There are 3 players here for Sinners. Bad News Eagles at the moment just heavily grouped up into brackets, hoping someone will peek here from that Czech squad. And nobody's complying. Playing within the bomb site, cheating a 4th player over as well as a deep B control. So Bad News Eagles are kind of boxed in unless they decide to run it back B.
Smoke out onto the bomb site, and now comes out the go call. Zedco mollied into a corner, and he'll have to be naded down as well. Shock's there to cover, but 4Z flashed off, so he can't assist. Remember, he was very low from the Molotov earlier, so he doesn't have so much flexibility. He needs him to basically walk into him, and with the smoke down, they might be doing just that. 4Z goes down inside, though. Synopsy able to spray him. At least Beastic to try and save Sinners. will not be able to stop BNE from getting that 14th after the first kill onto Zedko.
4 players A, and it breaks down. And I think as well, when we see Forzy sort of navigating through that smoke, playing around the sides of it, I do wonder whether a part of him was exposed, that, you know, the tip of the barrel, that AWP is certainly long. It's also in a bit of a weird angle where you can't fully see how you're exposed, because it blooms in sort of this conical shape, and so sometimes your feet are showing for just a glimpse. Bad News Eagles seem very, very hyper-focused on that smoke as soon as they saw that in the bomb site, and Sinners just couldn't do anything from it. Another instance where the entries at A, just being able to work up short as slowly as this, is a massive difference maker. We'll kick off with a nade. If Zedko stays alive there, you know, this crossfire holds true. Even with that smoke in the middle of the bomb site, the Apps player and the Pit player can sort of bounce off one another, re-aggressing onto short. Only one prong to that on the defense when you're getting naded to high hell. Sinners having to buy down to absolutely nothing in the follow-up round. Bad News Eagles could very well take it right here and right now.
Oh, Forzy misses another one. Looked like he was ready for that one as well. Of course, he's tagged down in the meanwhile. Again, weakened early in. That lack of impact has seriously been coming back to haunt Sinners, and with a boost up on the GXX as well. The flash is good, but B-Stick is better. He's moved past it and gets himself 3 quick plays down and out. He has consistently been the one delivering, and Zedko, as he rotates over to mini pit, will be good for one as well. Drops the bomb. He's the only player on the same bomb set, and he's delayed for long enough and gotten a kill while he's at it. Juan Flachu now in a 1v4, turn 1v3.
Don't let them win another clutch. These Bad News Eagles players can certainly convert on them. It'll be an ace clutch as that as well. He's already up to 2 kills, 3 more to find, and 2 players already low here for Sinners.
Neofrag's got an op as well, so not necessarily the best of weapons for this situation, especially when Juan Flachu is going to be able to peek him into a headshot angle. Neofrag being very careful, and they've yet to really ascertain his position. They're not expecting him in pit. Juan Flachu, did he not spot the player out? Yes, he did. It's called by his teammate. He swings out for the first, but B-Stick trades. 4 kills for B-Stick, 20 now in total.
Oh my goodness. What a round that B-Stick's been able to have. I don't know what's happening from Bad News Eagles there over towards Banana. There's a flash coming over that half wall, and they just eat it all up, but it allows B-Stick to feast.
Let's not forget, he's the IGL of this team.
I played like a monster. Yes, just tanked this flash, and B-Stick just has an easy 3-piece. That was the hardest of those duels. Man, certainly a chance. If not for the fact that Juan's shooting at the highest HP player out of those 2 players, very easily pulled into a 1-on-1. Sinners will be counting their lucky stars. Aggressive move through mid from Zedko, and immediately got his pick, gets out of there. They can reset back to this 3-2 split here from Sinners, and Bad News Eagles head scratching about how to come back into this, how to find an advantage, at least equalize.
Sinners should at least have 10.
Oh my
guaranteed
goodness.
with that first kill. But Synopsy is gone as well. Neofrag was expecting him to go for some sort of shenanigan, but the quick pop up is actually going to end up rushing forward. Neofrag found out scenario to take him down, and look, they've got a rifle left. They're going onto the side, but B-Stick has just consistently been getting the better of them. Oh, won't matter too much. He's pulled out the deagle for this one, and Zedko from behind will just take him down through the smoke. Spams right where he's expecting the player to be.
Sees him pop up on the radar probably as well, and just knows the situated new box, so went for it. Converts. Double digits now secured here for Sinners, but this move from Zedko, definitely a little mix-up. Sometimes we see CT side stagnate a little bit, just constantly play defensive. A lot of these pulls have been defensive postures from Sinners, haven't been getting aggressive into the apartments in much the same way that BNE were doing on their CT side. Going for a deep B control has been as much as we've seen from them. Ooh, Forzy, run boost over, and while there's only a singular tag in the response, only a warning shot. So quick, up long, and shot gets
clearing.
How does he get
What is this clearing? They're just both jumping up and down in front of him. They're lazily clearing the corner, and then they end up just... Okay.
Yeah, trying to be evasive to like an Oper or something, but no over there, and Shock's just rubbing his hands.
And so is Beastic, because he knows he's about to go and get all the kills he necessarily needs. Flash is dodged as well as the bomb's being taken over onto the side. Scenario is thinking that Beastic's not going to get aggressive behind him. Recon is there to cover that duel at the very least. Recon's been one of the few who's been able to consistently get one out over Beastic. Molotov forward. Recon found out by Neofrag. The repeak is sufficient and Scenario's all alone. A 1-on-3 to try and clutch it out. Good flashbang to keep him away. Second one as well. And as they peek forward, he's located and they cannot do more than get some money for the next round.
Yeah, the difference that those flashes make there for the retake for Sinners. See, Scenario just honed in on the exact angle that they're peeking. If he knew that they were swinging at the time that they went with that flash, would have been sat in for very likely an easy first kill, maybe even a second. Yeah, I have to agree. Just jumping around this corner, doubling up like that, a little odd on the clear. They have Mac 10s as well, so just maybe trying to make use of that jumping accuracy. Still didn't lead to results here for B&E. Sinners still keeping a lid on things. That was the half buy there from B&E. They get the bomb down as well, so there's all the money in the world to buy up every piece of utility. The guns they want to as well. They've got that AWP out. What the Sinners' choice is here on that CT side. Extra utility was dropped over to those B players. Forzy aggressing. Not gonna hit it. Teammates backing him up as well, and they're out of there. Seen this a few times here from Sinners.
Yep. This has been able to give them a lot of information quite a couple of times over. Not necessarily always the kills, but they've reset in an appropriate time. Problem is they've given up brackets, and BNE has gone and exploited that.
Well, they're peppered. Nades doing enough to put them in one-shot headshot territory.
The seasoning of Counter-Strike, some would say. Forzy. Looking forward. Hard clears out and gets away somehow. Scenario's not there to trade in time. Flash won't matter. Only forces him off the angle, and that is temporary. He's going back in for this. He's trying to make up for that first half, and Regon is here to punish. No, not quite yet. And Juan Flachu. That one way doesn't work all too well against the M4A1, I suppose, especially when Shock is expecting it. Molotov in the back lines. Shock is going to be able to move past it. Zetko dropped the bomb. And a second and third. He keeps it going. Sinners up to 12 now, and BNE now wouldn't be surprised if they are more than a little bit concerned with the outcome of this game.
Nice and clean. Headshots on headshots. Just being able to spray in one person after another on this A play. We saw earlier on as well them try to make use of that one-way smoke into the apartments, but Sinners actually weren't picking it that often. Very often just playing behind the bomb site, trying to maintain their crossfire, not give them that easy kill effectively that could be found above the smoke. Yeah, difference was this time Shock was ready for it, and he was challenging very, very early on. And liking that the aggressive moves from Forzy don't stop, even in spite of the fact he has had a rough game, especially on that T side. He looks to recuperate. You're right. He's trying to make up for that first half in some way. We've seen his impact. The reason he's the highest performer here for Sinners coming out of that group stage. This half-buy does have some legs here, though, for BNE. They've got a rifle. They've got a Mac 10 that can close in some of these close distances. The rifle could see a couple changed hands. With Neofrag being a solo B anchor, just jump spotting could certainly be overwhelmed. Deep smoke as well, CT. They want to move quick.
Neofrag's found the first, and that quickness has been immediately eliminated.
Round to a halt.
Don't forget, they really need the plant of air, my god.
And that was all their util. So they wanted this plan to work out somehow, but this gosh darn Neofrag.
I'd imagine a lot of people have said that in less kind words over the years. B-Stick as well, now over here. Definitely another one of those gosh darn players. And with the smoke out towards Banana 3, forcing them forward. Synopsy with the wide swing goes by unpunished, and Shock had a smoke in his hand, was recovering for mid. B-Stick and Neofrag both gone, but Shock is putting up a defense. Does he realize Juan is nearby? Will it matter? Juan is on 1 point of HP, and Shock is surely going to clear it. A nade would be enough.
Staring at
Hell, a breeze might be enough.
It's kind of a crossfire, though, from B&E, and they're all CT.
Synopsy needs to do so much heavy lifting over here. Just trying to distract for a while. Flashbang's there. First kill gone. Synopsy all alone. The big bad wolf is coming your way, Synopsy, and as they peek out, they don't check it! They don't check it! Synopsy now has a chance, and Forzi has the off. He pulls out the USP as well, but Synopsy! All alone! All hope lost! But a blunder is what gives them the 15th.
They are staring at it. They're looking for this peak, and it never came. Don't spot the gun. Don't spot a glimpse of Synopsy sat in that corner, nestled in. And that's a dagger. Straight through the hearts of sinners. They read into that post plant beautifully. They throw the flash construction. They break down that crossfire. The only way that they can support each other in that 2-on-3. Synopsy just keeps a cool hand.
My oh my.
These post plants from B&E have been miraculous on this T side. Did a 2-on-4 earlier on A, now a 2-on-3. But a 1-on-3 converted, rather, from Synopsy. These players can come in big time in the clutch. Not all roses. Scenario's low HP. They're contacting into this B bomb site, but all those scopes being made over to Banana does prompt a smoke.
Look, Synopsy does go down, and with the rotations going over towards B bomb side, that might actually make them hesitate. Doesn't look like it necessarily. Shock has made his way over. He's got a flashbang ready. B-Stick tries to rotate out. Shock has actually not been in a position where he can support Neofrag. So Neofrag needs to find that kill and find it fast. Unfortunately, B-Stick is gone, and Scenary's the second man peeking in. Shock's been covered by one. Bad news, Eagles are running into 16 unless Forzi and Zedko can do something about it. And Forzi, well, he's left Zedko all alone.
3 players low. That's the only way that this matters here for Zedko. Had a chance at it around the smoke. But this 1-on-4 might be a little too tough to handle. Kit as well has it prepared, but he's down to low HP. Rigon's trying to knife him. He was on 1 HP. He's trying to lunge at him.